Hi, I'm Scott Markley, and this is for my Intro to Game Design class. This is my alpha, which is kind of pre-alpha. I didn't have access to many design things. I don't see myself much as an artist, so it was a little difficult, so I'm using a lot of proxies. But I do have the general gist, which I hope can be seen from this sort of gameplay demonstration demo. So it's just me though, which is a little hard to play with myself. So I'm going to go over just what one person would do in a turn. Hopefully that is enough to show something. The game itself is going to be called Temples and Treasures. It's Indiana Jones-esque. You play as either an Indiana Jones type character or Brendan Fraser in the Mummy type character, or even there's a Jack Sparrow type character, just treasure hunters. The first thing you do to set up, and I'm using an Axis and Allies map here, but I, would have a better map. You have the map set up. Each of your characters you choose, there's a little character sheet that goes with them. It's going to have their reputation, where they start, their name. Hopefully by the end it would look a little something like the Last Night on Earth character cards. Even kind of looks like a female Indiana Jones. And then you put them where they start. So Illinois Jones starts in Indiana because Indiana Jones, it's funny. And then you put them there. And then on your turn, you start, or at the beginning of the game for setup, you have 5 decks of cards. You have good reputation, bad reputation, knowledge, wits, and resources. At the beginning of the game, you have 3 bad reputation cards. I'm using zombie deck cards, but bad reputation cards, they're used to inflict harm upon others or to get a illegitimate way ahead of your opponents. So they'd be something along the lines of slow your opponent down for a turn, or be able to move faster for a turn, kind of cheating in a way, which would lower your reputation, which I'll get to later. At the beginning of the game, you also start with 3 wits cards, which, again, using Last Night on Earth cards here. Wits cards are sort of like bad reputation cards, except they're less powerful. They're just ways to get a little bit ahead or to stop something bad from happening, to get you something when you might need it on a whim. You also start with 1 resource card. I'm using a pit card because resources. And as well as 1 knowledge card, which, again, I'll use the Last Night on Earth for this one. So you should start with 8 cards in your hand, and it shouldn't go above that much. I think 10 is the most you're ever going to have. Once you place your character, you can begin play. The gameplay is set up into 2 sub-turns, acquisition and adventure. Acquisition I wanted to feel very much like pit. On that turn, you can spend your resources, you can gain information, you can gain knowledge, you can listen in on your opponents, you can talk with them, you can try and haggle for resources or knowledge. Knowledge is the driving force behind this game. You need 5 forms of knowledge to gain a treasure. So in order to get that treasure, you need the 5 knowledges associated with it, which means another player might have them and you're going to have to work something out to deal with them. So the beginning of the game, or the beginning of each turn, is 5 minutes of pit style. Lots of talking, lots of negotiating, and working things out. The second part of the turn is the adventure mode. The player with the lowest reputation goes first because, they're cheating anyway. And on their turn, they get to move whatever their travel thing says. So if they have a boat, they can travel over water 2 spaces. If they have a plane, they can travel over anything 3 spaces. So on and so forth, depending on what they have. On adventure mode, you can also stop in cities and gain cards for whatever city you stop in, and you can collect treasure, which is the whole point, and try and bring that treasure back before someone steals it from you. I know this isn't a great demo. I'm kind of just saying everything that's on the PowerPoint. Let me think what I can do to make it better. So there are 5 different characters I have kind of designed. There's Illinois Jones, it's Indiana Jones. Captain Jim Swallow, Captain Jim Sparrow, Laura Croft, all the characters based off of famous adventures. Reputation's the big thing in this game. Reputation and the knowledge factor. Reputation is, if you have a bad reputation, you get to go first, and you might have gotten to do some good things, but it's going to hurt you later on because there's a good reputation deck. And good reputation is stuff like got a grant from a school to have a plane, and it gives you a plane for that adventure, which planes are handy. So having a good reputation gets you good things later on, but a bad reputation makes it easier to do things in the beginning. So it's all up to the player, how they want to play. As far as it comes to wits cards, you have 3 at the beginning, and you can only draw 1 a turn, and you can play them at any time you want. Resources cards, you draw 1 every turn, and it's something new. You can also collect them as you go around the map. And then knowledge cards are the big thing. You need 5 types of knowledge cards to gain a treasure. I think I've hit my limit for this video. Yes, good. Awesome. Throw cards.